What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 67 of Thinktwice, the magic and pop culture show, hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Anshrazi. This is where you come in with like a witty thing.
What up, Justin?
No, that was like a really just delayed reaction. It was like 10 seconds after. Like I
That was
stopped
my
talking.
that was my slacking impersonation.
Oh, like, oh, I'm late to the party. Hope everyone's glad to see me. You know the thing about that?
What?
No one likes the late people to the party. They're the
That's not
worst
true.
people.
Sometimes I just come in, like, what up? Like, thank God you're here because this party was lame as.
See, to me, I'm always the person that's hosting the
Pistachios.
party, okay? And I put all of the work in to make sure that everyone has enough seating, everyone's comfortable, and all of the little snacks are nice and easily accessible. No one's gonna run out of drinks.
Okay,
And there's
is there
enough
a
parking,
mage?
and then people
All right,
complain,
is there a
"Man, the
mage?
party's not fun." Well, guess what? The
Some
party's
some people
good, even if
some
it's
people
not
some people
fun.
like. Listen, the party's fun when you have one Rakdos person and a girl person. There you go. Now you have all kinds of fun.
It's not.
Fun and
It's not.
randomness.
I don't see. I don't want those people. How about just a party of just Azorius people? That's what I want.
That's not a party though.
Why not?
That's a meeting. That's
What?
a meeting.
Sounds great. Sounds great to me.
All right, you sit here. You sit here. All right, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, this sounds fantastic.
Can you
Keep
pass
going.
the? Can you pass me the shoe for my Monopoly? Thank you.
Well, that doesn't make
All
sense.
right.
You should have said, "Could you
I'm
pass me
buying
the
Park
documents
Place.
for me to review?" Yes, I'd love to. Let's review them together.
I mean, everyone's gonna know the rules. You need like 10 copies of every rules from all the games you play, all the board games you play.
Yeah. Again,
Can you please?
Are you-
Can you please make a copy of these?
are you
Way ahead of you?
Are you
Already got
making
10
fun
copies.
of me,
Here you
or
go.
are you complimenting me? I cannot tell. Literally cannot tell.
Making fun.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're
So other
welcome.
than making fun of me, you've obviously spent your time doing that. What else? What'd you do last week?
I played some. What was last week?
I don't know. That's why I was asking. I was hoping you would know.
Wait, I can't. What did I do last week? Oh, the Pokemon Day.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
Beldums.
So many.
I caught Beldums. Hung out with John Taylor. We went. It was Top Golf. You heard Top Golf?
Yes, I do know what Top Golf is. I've never gone, but I am familiar with it. It's indoor
Yeah.
golf basically.
Yeah. So I went to Top Golf, which was weird but also cool. Caught some Beldums.
Yeah. So Top Golf. You want to explain Top Golf a little more to people, because me saying indoor
It's
golf
like
doesn't.
okay.
That's not.
It's like okay. So like you basically like on like a porch. The porch goes around the whole building, and there's like heaters blowing at you, so it's just very warm. And you basically just play golf from where you are, and there's like different like huge holes in front of you and nets, and you basically just try to get in the holes for points.
Yeah.
And it's way more fancy. Like it was dark. Like everything was like colorful. Like coming in was just like I thought we were going to the future. I was like, what's going on? Because
This
like
is the
there's just
future.
like lights. There's like lights everywhere. There's like, it also like if you miss or if you don't hit it well, it's like it trash talks you. It's like Ollie, you're not gonna make the scoreboard with that hit. Or be like, I think you could throw it further than that, Ollie. I'm like, all right.
No, that's
All
not
right,
too
thank you.
bad.
Thank you.
I
Top
thought it was
Golf.
going to be worse. Like, your mother always knew you'd never stand up to your brother.
Gee, that's very specific.
I'm just saying. I don't know what kind of trash talk is it.
But we did that.
Okay.
What about you? Did you catch Beldums?
I did catch Beldums. I caught so many Beldums. I caught enough Beldums to evolve 10 Metagross.
Jesus.
Yes.
10?
Yep. I had to use, I will be honest, I ran out of time.
You're pinapping everything.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, obviously pinapping everything. I did have to
Yeah.
use 24 rare candy because I wanted to evolve the 10th one. I didn't want to have to do that,
That's
but I
fine.
was like, I'm so close. I really want to get it with the special move, which is Meteor Mash. So I was like, all right, I need to use these 24 rare candies. But yeah, I got 10, including 7 shinies, and six of the ones that I evolved were shiny. So
Nice. Meteor Mash sounds very reminds me of Monster Mash.
because it has
Like a
mash in
dance.
it,
Like a dance. Yeah.
and it has M as the first letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that.
So it reminds me of Monster Mash.
Apparently, Meteor Mash is one of the best moves. So Metagross
Yeah.
is one of my favorite Pokemon, and apparently this is one of the best moves in the game. Then I was like, yeah, let me. I was like, I'm gonna spend my time doing this. So me and
Well,
Parker and
apparently
Levi
too.
went out, and we
Uh-huh.
just played for 3 hours.
Nice.
So
Also, like the Tyranitar from Community Day, that moveset's also rare. People like want, like people I were playing with, they wanted that. They wanted that moveset. They wanted the Tyranitar that had Smackdown.
SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
man,
like, I don't have an extra. I have like 4. That's all I got.
I have like 12 or 13.
Oh really? Dang.
Oh, I got so many. Let me see. Let me check my Tyranitars out.
I bl- Let me bust these bad boys
Okay,
out.
let's see. It's tough because I've 9, 8, I have 18 Tyranitars total.
Jesus. Okay. Here, all right, guys. If you need Pokemon,
1,
if you're trying to
2,
come adjust them.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. Okay, I have 10 with SmackDown.
It's a lot of
10
Smackdown.
total. Yeah. Oh, I'm smacking fools down.
Speaking of Smackdown, Elizabeth says she'll smack you down for Maggie.
Yeah, we've covered this. We've covered this on the podcast. This is not a new area.
Okay. All right. So last week, I'm excited about this one. I'm very excited about this.
All right.
Last week we had a question of the week.
We did. It was a great question of the week. One of my favorite ones we've had actually.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was
a lot of
if you
I was gonna say a lot of interaction on social media. People were quite fond of this question.
yeah, so it was fun.
So go ahead.
So the question was, if you had choice to be experimented on by the Izzet or Simic, who would you pick? Essentially,
53%.
47.
Go ahead. Have at it.
47% of you said Izzet, aka 4% losers.
Okay,
53%
I wasn't gonna.
Said
That's me.
Simic, huge landslide. Not even close.
Dramatic.
Congratulations, Simic. We won. You are winners. I mean, I'm not sure what it's like to lose, but
Actually, I think you're very familiar
all I do is
with
win.
what it's like to lose the question of the week.
Win.
Also, I like to point out that it's when I win, it's not me that's winning. It's all of the people that voted for the most popular answer. I'm simply the one that suggested it, so really it's them that won. And
okay, the person that people won this time were 53% voted Simic, and that's it. Because Simic is the best. Either Simic or you're a loser.
oh, I don't think Simic or Izzet is the best. But that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question of the week.
Well, I'm just saying, either you're for Simic no matter what, or you're nothing.
Okay, well, great. That's there's 10 guilds, and if we're gonna pretend that an even number of people like each guild, you've just upset 90% of the people that listen to the show. So
Pfft.
just keep
Simic.
that in mind. Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going all in. All in on Simic. Everyone likes Simic. No one hates Simic.
Most people don't like Simic.
It's the
I mean,
best.
most people just don't like it. I mean, that's fine. I'm glad you feel that way, but
To be fair, I do hate the mechanic. They always put with counters. It's always like graft or evolve. Like, give me something else. But yeah.
That's why people don't like it, because it's pretty much the worst.
The mechanic is the
Collectively,
worst.
over I think between all of the mechanics that Simic has had, it has
the
like
worst.
the worst mechanics. Yeah.
It is crappy mechanics, but it has the most sweet cards. Like,
Does it?
Unexpected Results is sweet.
Okay.
Urban Evolution is sweet.
Okay.
There's a couple more. I just can't think of them right now.
Yeah. No. Sure. Take your time. I'm sure they're there. I'm sure
Prophet of Kruvix is sweet.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
Um, Coiling Oracle is a sweet card.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. All right, so 2.
I mean, 2. I've named a lot.
No, you
I mean,
named
4.
more, but I'm counting the good ones. I
Okay.
wasn't counting the ones.
Trigon Predator.
Okay, that's a good one.
Have to keep going?
No, I think you've really reached you're now after those 3 you're going to be stepping into cards that are just not as good. Trust me. All right, we want to give a shout out to our new Patreon supporters, Larry J and Jasper. Thank you guys very much for your support at the Disciple of Bolas tier. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. And of course, if you would like to listen to us on a different platform, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and now Spotify. Very excited for us to be on Spotify. Appropriate
fine.
this week, since this is going to be a Spotify-centric episode, I believe.
It is. This is how we're unintentionally celebrating it.
Yeah, exactly. Or intentionally. You could just not say unintentionally. You could have just said that we had lined it up, but now you ruined it.
It's not true. You ruined it by confirming it.
Oh, you're right. Oh no. Anyway, if you don't mind, leave us a short review or a 5-star rating if you enjoy the show. That really does help us out a lot. And of course, spread the word if you can. So, we have a good show for today. First topic up is going to be something that a lot of you are going to be interested in, because now that MTG Arena is in open beta, it is accessible for a massive larger number of people, if that made sense. Probably didn't. Either way, we're going to be back in just a moment, and when we return, we're going to talk about wildcard use in MTG Arena.
Arnold, you ever heard that song, Everybody in the Club Getting Tipsy?
I have. I'm familiar with that song.
This section is called Everyone in the Club Getting Wildly. Get it because wildcards?
Yeah, no, I got it. I was going to pretend I didn't hear it, though.
I'm one of those people that, like, if I tell a joke and I think it's funny, I'm going to laugh. Luckily,
yeah.
I laughed after I told it, and not like halfway through. So
That happens sometimes. That does happen sometimes. Either way, I'm gonna keep moving on.
All right, keep going.
After that, so MTG Arena, like we said, is in open beta now, and one of the great things about MTG being in open beta is, one, there's not going to be any more count wipes, which is something that you and I have been looking forward to for a long time.
Yes, that is so good. Like I don't feel bad for playing more.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah, you're working towards something.
Yes.
Yeah. So one, and then number 2 is the percentage of people that are playing this game compared to when it was in closed beta is like astronomical.
Yeah, which is crazy. By the way, I was about to say that word, so jinx, but that's crazy because, like, there's, like, I see some people like Sam Black or BBD or other big names tweeting about the arena and liking it, and it's just like, you guys could, like, they all could have got beta keys, obviously. Like, there's one point in time where, like, there's so many beta keys floating around that anyone could have had it.
Yeah, totally.
Almost
if anyone did any amount of work,
they could have had a key.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So obviously they didn't. I don't know. Maybe they thought MTG Arena wasn't good enough, or they thought, I don't know what they thought. But now, like, people are playing it, and everyone is like, I've seen very few negative comments. It's all like, awesome MTG Arena. It's great. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I think a lot of the negative comments are comparing it to Magic Online and trying to compare it favorably, but I don't want to say that they're wrong, because these are people's opinions. But it seems like it's kind of people just wanting to hold on to Magic Online, even though it's like, overall, it's an inferior program to Arena. Which, I mean, listeners to this podcast know, when we've been talking about Arena for almost a year.
I mean, I firmly believe Arena is the future of for Magic and not Magic Online? By like not like I think that's a question.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a question.
I mean,
It's not a question. Yeah, Arena the
Back
future.
in, I think back in episode 32, we had a question about is in a year's time from now, is Magic Online going to be more watched, or is MTG Arena going to be more watched than Magic Online? And we were thinking a year from now, but we're 6 months, like in 6 months after that, it is
It's already seeing more.
easily. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of people will say, well, that's because Wizards is supporting it more as far as like sponsoring people to stream. That's true, but
But there's also some people that are playing it just because they enjoy it. Like,
yeah, and this game is in beta, man.
I know
It's not
great.
even out yet. Let me
It's
tell
great.
you,
Like, there's no Inferno Quest yet. There's no like, yeah.
you were around when you got into Hearthstone around I guess was it still were you playing when it was still in open beta, or had it just come out of open
No,
like
it just
actually
come out of
release of the game?
Our friend Stefan Mercatoris
Yeah,
introduced us to it, and it was after beta. It was past beta.
it was
just
right.
like it was just
Yes,
released.
yeah, it was right when it was. It was right when it was just released.
Yeah.
And the difference in
We
that
got
game
hooked.
going from beta into the actual release of the game, it was a massive difference in the number of people playing. And then the difference in the release of the game and the game being on mobile was an
Oh, man.
astronomical change. And Magic is a better game than Hearthstone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, as far as it's just a better game. And in my opinion, Magic Arena is just more fun than Hearthstone is. But I despise Magic Online. I think it's a terrible program. But either way,
I mean, I've had since Magic Arena has been, I've been able to play it. I've played Hearthstone significantly less.
yeah, you know when you've played Hearthstone? On your phone, when you can't play Magic Arena.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't done that actually, but yeah. There's just like just like no point really. I love the graphics on Magic Arena. I love the animations. I love the sound. I love the music. I like the planeswalkers saying stuff. It's just I don't know.
It's great. I mean,
I like
it's
that
a
stuff.
great program.
Like
and
yeah,
and we're not. I want like obviously, some people might be listening to this and be like, "Oh, these guys, Wizards is paying them to say this." Well, no. Look, we both might have been some of the sponsored streamers for the early access event for Guilds of Ravnica, but look, we didn't get paid anything.
no.
And we're not being paid anything now. And you guys should listen to the show enough to know we're just going to say what we feel. Like I'm not going to be prompted to say anything on this show on Commander Versus on anything that I don't agree with. And I will tell you if I don't agree with it. So hopefully you guys know that about us by now. But the thing that we want to talk about today, after we have our little 5-minute intro on Arena, is wildcards, because this is really the core of the collection management aspect of Arena.
Yes.
Long silence. I was hoping you were gonna step in and give your
No, I was gonna see.
and start in, but either way,
I was like, "Where's he going with this?"
well, sometimes I feel like I dominate the conversation, and I want to and I don't let you get a word in edgewise. So, anyway, I guess I'll keep going. So, one of the things that I am doing is for those of you, a lot of you have watched on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/thinktwicemtg, I'm actually doing a free-to-play series on MTG Arena, releasing 2 episodes a week. One is constructed, one is limited, all centered around creating a free-to-play experience and maximizing your ability to not spend money but have a full experience on Arena. A big part of that is managing your wildcards. Since you're not spending any money on it, being able to get the most out of your resources is of the utmost importance, arguably the most important thing. Because you could definitely find yourself, if you are loose with your gold, gems, wildcards, you could find yourself in a spot where it takes you a while to dig out of the hole because you've misallocated your resources. And I will say that Arena is not a forgiving program for that if you're not careful. Now, most people are smart. And obviously, if you listen to the show, you're smart. So I guess we kind of want to talk before we even talk about cards to spend your cards to craft from your wild cards. Maybe some of the best practices in managing your wild cards.
Yeah. Um, I think, yeah. So, okay, so I guess this is our first section. One of the best things to do is to avoid trying to avoid spending wild cards on the most recent set.
Yes, big time, big time. Every week you're going to get an ability to get 3 packs of whatever the most recent set is. In this case, Guilds of Ravnica.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, that will come along with being able to play in the limited environment that is of the most recent set, also Guilds of Ravnica. So
Yes.
you have the best shot to fill out your Guild of Ravnica collection just through playing the game on a regular basis.
Yep, and getting the other cards from different sets is obviously hard because you can't play drafts on command. Like you usually have to use your coins to buy packs or use wild cards to craft the cards that you need.
Definitely. And making sure that you, I guess, in the beginning, focus on using your wild cards on sets that you can't open out of booster packs, unless you're specifically buying booster packs, which I actually do not ever recommend you do.
What, buy booster packs?
For if you're doing free
with gold.
If you've paid, then that's probably what you're doing because you're going to get a collection a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, that's right. By the way, that's why I did. Like Justin's doing free to play, guys. I'm the opposite. I've done. I don't know what to call it. Pay to play, pay to win, but it's not really pay to win.
I don't even think it's pay to win. You're just.
I want to play what I want to play. I want to test standard for big events. I like playing Arena much more than like playing Magic Online. So I was like, hey, I want to test these decks. Here's some money. Let me open the packs and then craft the decks I want to craft, which has literally been one deck. I've been playing just Lich's Mastery for a while now, just trying to tune it and make it as best as possible. So, yeah, I'm the opposite side. I'm having a ton of fun. Justin's doing it the other way. I'm sure he's having a ton of fun too. So
I am. And there's not a wrong way.
Sweet.
It's really just if you and I will say the reason that I'm doing this is I'm waiting until they one identify the solution to rotation and two figure out, and this is the biggest one for me.
Yeah, the fifth wild card,
the fifth copy of a card. What happens to that?
Besides the vault, I mean, you want some bread in the vault.
Yeah, that doesn't count. Vault doesn't. That basically is nothing.
It's like a less than %.
It is an insulting amount of percentage towards the vault, which some of you might not even know what the vault is. Basically, when you open the fifth copy of a card, X number of times weighted per rarity, you get to open the vault, which gives you a mythic rare wild card, 2 rare wild cards, and 3 uncommon wild cards. And then they tell you to have a nice day. Doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and opening the fifth copy of a mythic rare, like I think it was like 1% for the vault.
It's a little bit more. It's like 1/90th of the vault.
Okay, so it's 2%.
Well, no, I mean it's like 1.1%.
Okay, so it's still awful.
Yeah,
so
even actually 1.01%.
So I think the best solution to this is just to make it impossible to open
fifth copy of the card.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Just I guess do it. I'm not sure what you do with the vault then, but
yeah, there's other things they have to figure out because what happens then? What happens when you have everything? I don't know.
Maybe that's the vault then.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could be. But wild cards. Everyone uses wild cards. It is going to be necessary for you to play this game to spend your wild cards. And the best thing, in my opinion, and I don't want to, and I'm putting air quotes around the best thing, the things you're going to get the most mileage out of for your wild card usage, and this is so miserable to say, but it's rare lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guild of Ravnica does have, 5 shock lands and Dominaria and Ixalan has combined 10 what are called buddy lands.
Yep.
And
The check lands.
the check lands, those are not fun. They're not enjoyable to play because you don't get anything out of them. They don't make any cool animations or noises. People don't usually identify with lands, but you're gonna put them in every single deck, and they'll never go to waste ever.
No.
And it makes it so much easier for you to build new decks. Just like build crazy decks on a whim if you have your mana base. And it's the unfortunate truth with Magic just in general, but even more so in Arena.
Yeah, it's basically like the same as like when you're playing Standard. If you want access to multiple decks, you better get all the lands.
Yeah, get your mana base. Get your mana base right.
Yep. Same with Modern. This is the truth about every single not only Wildcards, but Standard, Modern, every format, Vintage, Legacy even. Those are harder to get, obviously, but I'm saying like it's basically the same concept.
Yeah.
If you want to play more decks, then if you want to be able to bounce from deck to deck to deck, the most important thing is having the mana bases.
The thing with Arena, though, is it's not like you can. Oftentimes, you're choosing between a land and something else.
Yep.
Do I want to get my 4th copy of Rosk's Contempt, or do I get my 3rd Overgrown Tomb, or my 3rd Woodland Cemetery? So it's tough because you have to compare them. Everything is comparative in Arena. It's not like you can just get more. You can, but you can't just go out and buy singles. So you have to be sure when you're using them. So we kind of put together a little list of cards that are what I would call the safest crafts
outside of lands.
Because lands are the safest crafts. Though again, I would go more for the buddy lands than the Guild of Ravnica lands because, like, even just me playing free to play, I have spent $0 and crafted 0 shock lands, and I've opened 2 Temple Gardens, a Steam Vents, and 3 Sacred Foundries. So
nice.
Yeah, and I'm like basically a third there with all of those. So
nice. Yeah,
and eventually, I will continue to open more, and I might craft 1 or 2 of maybe the ones that I don't have, but the Dominaria and Excellent Checklands are great. Also, a good tip for spending wildcards: if you are going to spend wildcards on a set that you're opening packs of on a regular basis, don't go to 4, because the downside of opening that 5th copy is so brutal that sometimes it's better to just play with 3 copies of a card rather than 4 copies of a card, just to avoid that until they fix that problem.
Yeah,
because it is bad. I would also recommend being looser probably than you think you can be with uncommon wild cards, because you actually get them pretty frequently.
Yeah, those will come and go like really fast. Like if you want your Eldest Reborn, which is a very powerful card for an uncommon wild card, then do it.
Yeah, craft your Eldest Reborn, craft your Ravenous Chupacabras.
Sinister Sabotage.
Yeah,
that's common, I think.
Chemist's Insight.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Discovery Dispersal. Yeah, just go ahead and craft those, because if you're playing a deck and you're like, I just need these uncommons, those generally, because oftentimes the uncommons appear in greater numbers than the rares, because they're kind of like the cards that are getting you from one side of the game to the next. Those are worth it to just spend as many wild cards as you can. You're gonna get
eventually you get to a point where you just have so many uncommon wild cards and you have all uncommons anyways. So just might as well just get what you need to make your deck better. So
play them while you can. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So you basically, like I said, get to a point where you have a ton of uncommon wild cards because you're winning a lot or whatever. And to get that point, just use your wild cards to craft. Like, I honestly would not sit on a ton of wild cards. Like maybe you can sit on 5 if you want, but
I always want to have a playset.
Sure.
I think
4 is good.
Yeah, I think a playset, because if you're like, oh, I really just need this card that I don't have.
Yeah, that's fine. But hoarding wild cards, I think, is almost counterproductive. Like if you have 20 wild cards,
it's definitely counterproductive. Yeah, especially for that many.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Like someone would be like, you know what, I'm just gonna hold these wild cards until I get enough to know what deck I want to play. But like, if you do that, then like you're winning less, and when you're winning less, you're getting
Your
less
progress is slower
rewards.
because
Yeah.
you've kind of chosen it to be.
Yes.
So, which is one of the and obviously we're not talking about common wild cards. If you need a common and you don't have it, just get it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
You get those so frequently, but from opening packs, like just craft it.
Just do it. And like
You're not going to be in a situation for very long where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have this common that I need. Like, you will next week if that's the case. Um, so anyway, getting to kind of getting into the list. These are the cards that are the safest crafts. So if you craft these, chances are you're going to be able to use them in a larger percentage of decks than other cards that are in Magic Arena right now. And Ollie, feel free to add to or amend this list as you see fit as I go. Okay.
okay.
All right. So, um, the cards that I think you will play with the most that are rares that I recommend crafting. And again, none of these are actually going to be from Guilds of Ravnica, and there's two reasons for that. One is you're going to open those regularly in packs, and the other I'll get to at the end of the segment. But the rares that I would say that would get the most play are Settle the Wreckage, Search for Ascanta, Ross's Contempt, Goblin Chain Whirler, and Jade Light Ranger. Now, conveniently, that's one of every color. It did just kind of work out that way, but those are cards that go in a variety of different decks. The widest is Ross's Contempt. That virtually any deck that's playing black mana, you're going to play some of those. The narrowest is Goblin Chain Whirler, but if you're playing red, it's a 4 of in that deck.
It is.
A heavy red deck.
Yes, it is. But I would say I'm more tempted to craft. I understand it's also from guilds, but I'm more tempted to craft Experimental Frenzy instead of Goblin Train Whirler, or even just Frenzy, not Steamkin, but Frenzy. Frenzy is just such a
if you're
such
considering
a card.
crafting Runaway Steamkin, you should probably just do Chain Whirler instead.
Yeah. That's fine. Frenzy is just so good. It's good in the red decks. It's good in the red green decks, and I'm sure it's good in other decks that people haven't tried yet. Like I'm sure, like if you're playing Ramp, that card's actually fantastic as well. But no one's playing Ramp yet.
Yeah, it's a powerful card. I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I'd also other cards that are good, like one that goes like a long way. I think is Argyll's Bloodfast.
Yes.
That's a fine card to craft. That it's just one, and it goes in a ton of black decks. Like almost every black deck can use it. Control, mid range, whatever, aggro. Even if you. Another one I like is maybe not so much now, but Sorcerer's Spyglass is a good one. It's very good. It's very good against the Teferi decks. If those like start catching on, or just Planeswalker decks in general, it's good against the Golgari decks if you can like stop their Vraska. And then from there, I guess I had Find, Finality, and Expansion Explosion on my list, but
I think those are good cards. But since you don't need, they're not at this point like 4 of index. Like getting like maybe crafting like a copy is probably good, or 2.
Yeah. I think going up 2 is fine, but yeah, you're right. Probably not 3 or 4, because if you open, like you said, open more copies, you're gonna.
And on top of that, like you really want to do stuff that you're gonna play a lot of, either you're gonna play a lot of copies of, or you're gonna play exactly 1 copy of, and you can just get that one out of the way, and then you can use it for everything.
Yeah.
Those middling cards are the toughest, because you're spending resources, and if you get them later, you're going to be upset that you spent the resources on them to begin with. So, Mythic rares. Go ahead.
Real quick on rares. Is Nezahal a rare?
Yeah, Nezahal's a rare, but you do get 1 in your collection.
Okay, so you're fine then.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and I did avoid things that you get in the new player experience decks, which is 10 different 2-color decks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nezahal is one of those. Okay, so the mythics that are get you the farthest, and this is just a list of the cards that you can play in the widest variety of decks. History of Benalia, which you also start with 1 of these in your collection. Lyra Dawnbringer, Rekindling Phoenix, you also start with 1 of those in your collection. Carnage Tyrant, you also start with 1 of those in your collection. Vivian Reed, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and Vraska Relic Seeker. I think all of those are excellent cards that you can. Obviously, Teferi and Vraska are more narrow because they're two color, but they are cards that you're going to want to play if you're playing those two colors
Those
in the same deck.
colors. Yeah. Yeah. The only one I would add here, it's also good, also goes Ravnica. Maybe just craft two if you want. But Doom Whisperer is a very powerful card that goes into multiple decks like the Disinformation Campaign. I've seen people play an Esper. I've seen people play Golgari.
Yep.
I've seen people play it in mono black with Cabal Stronghold. Not Cabal Stronghold. Yeah, Cabal Stronghold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cabal Stronghold. So I've seen that card a lot too.
I think that's a good one to craft in like 2 to 3, because because if you open more, you can just play more in your deck, but it's not necessary. Like it's basically just it's a luxury open for you.
Yeah, I think two's fine too. Like two's like it's good. It's a good card. It's not super late, but yeah, it's a good card.
Well, you had outlined some decks that you feel like were the best as far as like use the least amount of wild cards.
Yeah, I think the decks, like if you want to just basically farm Magic Arena and just build a competitive deck and just go for it.
Yeah.
I think people default to mono red, but I actually think the mono blue / mono green decks are cheaper. I personally favor mono green. Basically like Llanowar Elves, Steelleaf Champion, Carnage Tyrant, Galta, like that type of deck.
Yeah.
Because you have like Vine Mares too, which is good, and you also can like start very cheap with like Blanchwood armor, which is just I know it sounds silly, but that thing kills people.
It does very quickly.
And then mono green, you can like later transition to Golgari or maybe next set you can make it into Gruul, like red green. But as far as the mono blue deck, you can't really transition.
Yeah.
It's basically like an all-in a Curious Obsession cheese deck. It'll get a lot of wins. I mean, it will.
It is the last thing I lost to last night before I logged off and quit playing. They just played. They played a turn 1 Mystical Curled, turn 2 they played another Mystical Curled, and then put a Curious Obsession on their first one.
That's it.
And they just went to town.
You lose.
And I essentially like I could have ran them out of cards the exact turn they killed me, but they had just enough to get through. So
yeah, the deck is usually Curious Obsession or Tempest of Jin or Bust. Like it's more so Curious Obsession than anything else. But again, I'll say the mono green deck is I think the better one to go with because it can transition easily.
Not only that, but I fully agree for mono green, and there's actually an additional reason. You can open powerful Guild of Ravnica cards that you can use to upgrade that deck as you get them, but they're not necessary to play initially. Like if you get like Pelt Collectors or Nullhide Ferox, the 6/6 for 4.
Yeah.
You can just add those to that deck and it will just improve your deck. But they're also not necessary to play.
Yeah. Like I think Vine Mares are fine Nullhide Ferox, if not definitely
situationally
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by all means, and you get a Carnage Tyrant to start, and I'm not sure if you get any Steelleaf Champions, but those are also
you don't get any Steelleaf Champions, but that's a good one to craft. Very narrow, but if you're playing mono green, it's one of the best cards in your deck.
I mean, I think it's also think it's the best mono-colored card from that cycle. So I think it will continue to see play. So
yeah, especially as we go into Gruul in the next set.
Yeah.
Historically, Gruul decks have been green heavy, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be in the future. But every time that we've been in a Ravnica set in Standard, the green-red deck is heavy green and then splashing red, which means that Steelleaf Champion has a much better chance of sync play.
I imagine it's going to be basically mono green splashing red for like Frenzy and some other Gruul cards, Domri or whatever. But so
probably so. All right, cool. Okay, anything else on? Oh, the last thing I wanted to say. The Pro Tour is in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if you have a lot of wild cards and you're like, I really want to make a deck right now, might be good to wait until after the Pro Tour because that will change the landscape of Standard and it might open you up to things that you maybe have some in your collection. You won't have to spend as many wild cards, or help you make sure that you don't make a wrong decision in spinning those wild cards too preemptively.
Yep.
So,
I agree with that too.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's all I have on Arena and wildcards for now.
Yep, that's all I got too.
Okay, cool. All right. In that case, we'll be back in just a moment to talk about this week's Magic story.
So this week's Magic story is called Clans and Legions.
The game?
It is about, not the game,
Okay.
the story.
Okay, got it.
It's about the Boros Legion. Get it? Clans and Legions.
I do. I get it.
So the story about the Boros, it is so before I go into it, it is a mystery story. So it was very hard for me. This is one of the more difficult stories for me to dissect and shorten because there's a lot of small moving pieces,
Oh yeah.
and each moving piece that seems insignificant ends up mattering towards the end because again it's a mystery. So you keep your eye out for like little things. I got most little things. I didn't get every single one, but the story is still intact. But I highly recommend you read the story if you are interested in the Boros, or if you like mystery, or if you just want to know more about Ravnica. Okay.
All right.
You ready, Parnell?
I'm ready.
All right. So the story starts off with Wojak. Is it Wojak? Westland, who's a Minotaur.
Yeah. And the Wojak are just a class of Boros soldiers.
Yes, he's a Minotaur that is being promoted from Annex 4 to Wojak. Annex Wojak, or Wojak Annex. It's...
Yes.
Okay. So when he gets his award, he opens up like his like little Boros locket. When he opens it up, he sees what it is, and he tries to hold back his tears because he's so overwhelmed with like pride and joy that he's getting promoted. And then after he's getting promoted by a guy named This is
it's a flamekin.
Skromar.
Actually, a flamekin. Specifically named Skormok.
Skormok, yes. And he hands him a letter, and he says, open this in privacy, now. So after they leave, he opens the letter, and he believes that the letter is, he has to decode it. It basically says, like, meet us here, but he thinks it's actually a code for something because he only sees, like, 8 rays or 9 rays of the Boros sun. And he believes he has to decode it for counterintelligence. So he's decoding it, and what he believes he reads is he's go to a bunker and speak to an informant there. So he starts heading towards there. He runs into like some baby hydras that he should probably, that he in the back of his head he's like, I should probably report these, but this is more important. I'll do it later. The hydras like spit some their acid stuff on his shoes, but they're babies, so that doesn't destroy the shoes. It's like steams a little bit.
Inconvenience.
Yes. When he gets to the bunkers, there's an informant who appears to be like an apothecary, and when he sits down, the informant says, "Do you want to play a game? A game called Clans and Legions." Westland doesn't really want to, but he decides to get information. The informant says, there's a spy in the Boros Legion, and he says that he will give him the name if he frees someone named Bas Solvar. And he says, if you do this, meet me tomorrow and I'll give you the name of who is the traitor in the Boros Legion. So Westland heads back, and he's debating what he should do because he's like torn. He's Boros, so does he free this person or not? And he decides that he needs to free them because having a traitor in the midst is more important than having this person captive. So he bribes to get Boss Silver free, but after he frees her, he realizes that she actually started an attack on 10th Street a while back with a chaos potion or chaos spell that ended up killing 24 people and injuring 176 people. So she ends up being free. Then he's worrying about that, but he's trying not to. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go meet the informant, which is Brazar.
Yeah, Brazer.
He's like, okay, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna meet him now and get the name. He waits and waits. No one shows up. He tries not to let like panic sink in. He starts running towards the bunker, just maybe thinking he's at the bunker, and he finds Brazzer there dead, with his throat is slit. And then he notices the game pieces are the same exact way as when he left. In fact, he notices that there's only one missing piece, which is the angel, and everything else is the same exact way. So he believes that Brazer died or got murdered after Westland had left. So as he's messing, he lifts Westland up. He's trying to see if he can find any clues. He does find the missing angel piece, which. Oh no! Sorry, he does not find it. He notices that angel piece is missing. He doesn't find it though, and then he goes to report the murder of Brazer. As he's going, he's accused of poisoning Sergeant Scoremark, the Flamekin that promoted him. The second command, which is a person named Sadin, and a Boros guild mage named Adderley. Basically, it's try to follow me here. Basically, he poisoned his boss, his boss's boss, and the boss's boss's boss.
No, my boss, my boss's boss, yeah, and her boss, yeah.
So basically, like, everyone up chain of command, everyone above Scoremark. While he's there, he gets patted down, and they find a angel piece on him, and the denomitation. And when they pull the angel piece out, they unscrew it, and they find a poison that is identified to be a Golgari poison that can kill like an elephant. Like it's too deadly.
A few drops would bring down a giant easily.
Yeah. Westland tries to explain the letter and like how it was decoded and how he decoded it and how they're different rays and look weird. But now the letter all of a sudden looks normal. There's nothing wrong with it. So he's been framed. He says this, but no one's really believing him right now. He believes that an angel named Arson did it. She's the person that's like been following him around, giving him a hard time. So he like says he believes it was her because she was there during all the key points of when he got the letter and when he left. So he believes it's her. But then all of a sudden he's like, okay, so the boss's boss died and the top boss died, but Scormac didn't die. The Flamekin didn't die. So everyone above him died, he didn't die. And you're saying this poison is strong enough to kill a giant, but the Flamekin didn't die. Why? How's that possible? Like how's he just sick? So Wojciech accuses the person patting him down, the female Minotaur. He says she's in on this because he notices the Hydra acid or spit on her shoes and the dust that is special because of the area. Like a bone dragon died there, so the dust is a little different. So why accuse her? Of course she says no, you're crazy. But Arsan, the angel, is able to cast a spell that burns the dust and proves that it is in fact the dust from the bunker, which is had the bone dragon smoke, and it proves that she was there. And then the angel asks her, why are you there? She doesn't give a. She's obviously at that point she throws stuff on the bus, and it's pretty obvious that she framed Westlin or was in on it. So she throws the poison on the floor, and Arsan the angel vaporizes the poison. But by the time she looks back up, the spy or the whoever the person was has gotten away. Arsan says, "Okay, Westlin, let's go and get her." But Westlin's like, "No, we need to go after Scoremark, the Flamekin, because he's more important. Just let her go. We need to do this instead." So she flies them. She flies or / teleports them there, and when they get there, they see him packing his luggage. Like he's not all sick. He's not coughing. He's not like in bed. He's just
trying to get out of Dodge.
Yeah. Yep. So they accuse him of being a conspiracy or going behind the back of the Boros Legion, and a battle ensues. Eventually, Westlin headbutts the Flamekin with his horns, and then the angel releases a water elemental that battles the Flamekin and eventually turns him into a wet pile of ash. And Westlin is a hero. The angel and him are friends now. And like, yay, hooray, parade, Boros Legion, red, white, Aurelia, for life. That's it. Sorry. Hopefully that was a little confusing for me going over that story. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing what I was saying, but this thing is like, it's really I don't think convoluted, but it's like there's a lot of small moving pieces.
Mystery story.
Yes.
So
I'm covering like the basics of the story.
I have some questions and comments.
Okay.
There's a line towards the end where Wesleyan says Arsan killed 15,000 and all she got was a slap on the wrist. Double standards. Look around Osset. Lies, treachery, and justice. This is what your legion is founded upon. And this is Scormac saying this.
Yeah.
To Wesleyan. 15,000? Who where? Who are they in battle with against? With or against? Where
I have no idea.
An angel would kill 15,000 Ravnicans?
It's a powerful angel.
But who is she killing? When did this happen? Don't you think if that had happened, like that would have been more news on Ravnica that we maybe would have heard about at some point?
50,000 is a lot.
That's a lot.
But it is a lot.
Who are the Boros fighting that an angel kills 15,000 beings?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. That doesn't even make sense.
But still, like, she's killing. I imagine she killed like a bunch of the enemies and some of the allies and some civilians. But her ultimate goal was like, okay, I need to bomb this place and kill in this war or whatever. Whereas the Flamekin literally killed people that are 100% allies that are important to the Boros Legion. So there's a difference. You can decide which is worse, but yeah.
I also want to to point out, like the line that comes right before this as I'm reading it. As Arson and Wesleyan are cornering Skormark, he says, "Do you know how many elementals serve in Sunhome? I can count them on one hand." He holds up 3 fingers, all
Three.
aflame. 3 out of thousands. Just because we were cast instead of born doesn't mean we aren't capable of performing in high ranks. They deny our sentience, they balk at giving us names, but the truth is we're not uncontrollable zealots, and we deserve life past battle.
But there's Flamekin Zealots. That's literally a card name.
Well, I think that's his point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. So, I mean, that's like saying there's,
I mean, I was making a bad joke.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Flamekin Zealot. Yeah.
Well, no. I think that's but point being, like, I think that's actually notable because I think that's what Skormager's saying, that all of Ravnica looks at Flamekins as
Our war. Yeah.
are like
puppets of
crazed,
war.
like battle hungry elementals.
Well, there was that one. Yeah. The last time we saw Flamekin was the 7/1 haste trample lifelink dies in EOT ball lightning.
Spark elemental?
Yeah. Or not Spark Elemental. What's Spark Elemental?
No, it's not Spark elemental. It's Spark Trooper.
Yes.
Spark Trooper.
Yep. That's the last time we saw. That stands out to me.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I do feel for. I'm literally blanking on their name. The Flamekins. I mean, this sounds like they're somewhat being oppressed in the Boros Legion.
Yeah.
3 out
Well,
of
obviously,
thousands.
I mean,
Like, what he's saying, Arson killed 15,000 she got was a slap on the wrist, double standards. Look around, lies, treachery, justice is what your legion is founded upon. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of truth to that. Like, despite this person killing 2 others to, like,
move
basically, yeah, they're 2 bosses to move up. It's tough when you do everything right, and because of the race that you were, I mean, they say they denied our sentience, saying that they're not even, like, they can't even
people
like have,
or
yeah, they balk at giving us names. They don't want to give them names. They don't want to name them. Like, they're not even real things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a, like, that was the most impactful. That was the most impactful thing. And it's like, you put these Flamekins in this situation because then Wesleyan says, you killed 2 people. I reminded him, that's not what I call controllable. Well, I mean, someone's been backed into a corner. And I'm not saying that it was right to kill anyone. But, I mean, this is how pictures of races, like in real life, and people and races in Ravnica, and in how these magic stories have been written, this is how this is painted. Because then you have the story going forward of, oh, Skormark has killed these 2, and like you can't ever trust Flamekins. They'll never serve high in the Boros Legion because there's always something, and they make a joke about them being fire and they're aggressive, and
Yeah.
I mean, I can just see that play out. Can't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, there's no Flamekin. There's no elementals from this set that are in the Boros Legion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. 3 out of thousands.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. It's just it is interesting because it really makes it look like Skormok is a villain, but I think it says a lot in this really short exchange.
Yeah, it speaks a lot about Boros in general, I think. Because we see giants, we see humans, we see even Vishino,
Yeah.
we see goblins, like Legion War Boss.
Yeah.
We see Minotaurs, which is what the main character is. Yeah, but we see no Flamekin. We see angels too. Yeah, we see a lot of different types
A lot of diversity among races, but
except for Flamekin.
Yeah.
Or elementals.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I think it's there's probably more. I don't know if they're going to do anything else with that, but that was, like I said, that was the part that stood out to me the most that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And it made you think again with these stories. I've liked them. I really liked all of them. It's a good story, but
I wish I had like no more substance, but a bigger picture type deal.
meaningfulness. Because
Yeah, a bigger picture.
in
It's like a little piece that doesn't go anywhere else really,
no,
as far as we know.
and it's like, well, a reader could. It's like, well, why am I spending my time reading these stories when I could be reading something else, another series? Because even though like the argument could be made, well, this is fleshing out the world that they're in. This is fleshing out Ravnica. But I mean, you've spent so long building this main story, and now it's not that it's being abandoned, but the focus has been lost, and we're getting these other stories. And I know we're going to be getting the main story with the Gatewatch and Bolas later, and it's going to be partially like in a book, but it just it feels like a shift, and I'm kind of feeling it now after these 3 weeks, where we've gotten really nothing of substance to the main story, and
Yeah.
if that continues, like that's I don't know, how much I'm going to care for that.
Yeah. I was thinking of so this is a little different. Going back to what you said earlier about the angel killing 15,000 people. I know this angel wasn't Aurelia,
No,
but
no,
it reminds me of like the card art on Aurelia's Fury, where she's just like blasting like like you see like four people dying as
yeah,
they're all skeletons.
yeah, but that's like a famous angel, and
Yeah, yeah.
like this is just some random character we've just introduced to, so I don't know.
Yeah, but the angels seem very powerful on this
Oh,
planet.
I'm not
Apparently.
disputing their power.
Right,
What 15,000 people are they killing?
I don't
Like
know.
just
I
one
don't know.
guild?
Yeah, I don't know.
They just wipe out like a big fraction of a guild? I don't know. Who are they fighting with? Like I didn't think there was a war going on in Ravnica. That's war numbers. That's not like I
No,
arrested
that's
this
huge.
many, killed this many violent criminals. Like that's
Like even if Ravnica has billions of people in their world,
15,000
fifteen
is a
thousand is
notable
still a
number.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
especially if it happened like in almost instant or even like an hour or
when I
however long.
first read it, I read it as 15 and just missed the word thousand. And then I went back. I was like 15,000? Like that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, it is.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Good story. Hats off to Nikki Drayden. She's doing a really good job
Yeah, she
with
is.
these stories. I want to see her with content that matters, though.
Big. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Hate to say it like that, but
I
that's
agree.
the truth. Anything else on the story, Ollie? Magic story this week?
No, nope. So all we have left is we've done Izzet, we've done Boros, we've done Demir,
So we're
so we
getting
have
Selesnya next for sure.
and then we have Golgar. So Golgari.
Yeah, because it's gone Demir, and then it's gone to another blue guild, which is it. Then from Izzet, it's gone to another red guild, which is Boros. So I imagine it's going to a white guild, which would be Selesnya, and then Golgari last.
Maybe, probably, because maybe I don't know. I would say maybe because of Vraska, but like the last story
Yeah,
isn't about
we might
Vraska.
not be getting
So,
Vraska at all.
no, we're not getting Vraska. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, we're definitely not. Okay. All right. Moving on then. We are going to jump out for a moment. And when we return for our final segment, Ollie and I are going to give you a little update on where we are with some musical musings in our life. Ollie, you and I, along with, I would imagine, a lot of other listeners and just people, have music as a pretty big part of our life. And
Absolutely.
obviously a lot of people listen to music, and we want to every so often, a few times a year, kind of share what that means to us and how music's interacting with us on a personal level. So we're just going to kind of go through some of those.
Real quick fun fact type deal. I actually didn't start listening to music, like actually listening to music until like I was like 15.
I don't think that's
Isn't that weird?
I don't know.
No.
No, it would be weird now.
Maybe.
But I mean, then.
Maybe it's different.
Well, I mean, when you're 15, it's 2001, 2002 when you're 15. So, I mean, you don't have like it was just then starting to have like iPods.
Yeah, it was still mostly MTV and radio.
Yeah, and at home with like CDs and so you
Yeah.
didn't have access to the music that you do now. Music is more accessible than it's ever been, and oftentimes you don't even have to pay for music. As crazy as that
No,
is, which is um, kind of how it works nowadays. But it's as important to me as it's been like my entire life,
Yeah.
if not more, So
All right. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. Music is important. It's also important to me. And I've also noticed that I personally like different types of music depending on where I am in life. I noticed that like when I'm either down or sad, I listen to music for the song lyrics so I can basically like relate to them, or put myself in those shoes, or basically feel like someone also is feeling my sadness, pain, what do you want to call it. And then there's also times where I'm happy, and the lyrics don't mean as much. It's more about the beat and how that makes me feel, and if it's like fun and going. And I guess the best thing I can say for that is like foster the people type music for me is what makes me like is what I'm listening to basically when I'm like in a good mood, happy mood.
yeah, when you're feeling good, what do you want to listen to kind of keep you going in that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have kind of identified like 5 different sections, and we'll kind of just go through. And obviously, since music means different things to different people, some things we're going to be referencing could be songs, or some things are going to be specific artists, or even just specific genres. Um, and I don't know. This is just, I guess, a little look into how we interact with music and what and how that fits into our life. So, Ollie, do you want to start? I guess we kind of can just go down the list.
Sure. Yeah. So songs, artists, genre. I listen to when I'm like depressed or sad. I listen to a song called "Be All Right."
Do you have the
I
artist?
should have the artist. Sure. Down. Once.
Well, here while you're looking up
Okay,
all
it's
of
by
those.
sorry. All right, it's "Be All Right" by Dean Lewis, and then I have "Lovely" by DJ Ka- Khal- Khaled.
DJ Khaled. This is a
Khalid.
very famous musician. Okay.
I mean, I'll take a lead, but
Well, he says
it's
DJ
been.
Khaled and he screams it at the beginning of every
I
song.
know, I
So,
know, but I'll take a lead. He's also
well, yeah, but
he's
he
Americanized it.
pronounces it Khaled, so I think it's Khaled.
All right, we'll go with Khaled.
Okay.
And then "Green Light." This is the one like, you actually
Green Light
introduced
by
me to. It's
Lord.
yeah, Green My Lord.
Yeah.
It's not really depressing, but I like listen to when I am depressed because it basically shows like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Well,
At
I
the end of
mean,
the tunnel.
you don't have to listen. I mean, I don't generally always listen to songs that are gonna make me more sad
Right.
when I'm sad. So
I mean, Lovely is that way. The Lovely is actually, I think it features DJ Khaled, but it's Billie Eilish is the person. It's the woman that's singing it, and like it's kind of like a duet. It's a depressing song, but and it's definitely a song that like brings you more, maybe probably makes you more depressed, but it's still like it moves you in a way. It's hard to explain.
okay. Yeah, and I think I certainly have that too. Like, um, the thing, the two songs that kind of jumped out to me were, I guess, pushing me in two different directions when I kind of feel like this. The song definitely in the last year, and honestly, the album in the last year that I've listened to the most is a Kesha album. It's Kesha's most recent album called Rainbows, and it's very different than previous Kesha. Um, so judge me all you want, which is fine. But there's a particular song called Bastards that is is like one of the best like songs that moves me out of when I'm upset at if it's something at work or someone or I just don't feel great. That is a song that I've listened to a lot in the past year and has kind of helped pull me out of that. And on the other hand, um, sometimes you want to hear music where you can feel like you can relate to your mood, and it's not to say that it pulls you down into a darker place, but I guess it's nice to know that like there's someone else kind of where you are. So the song "Gasoline" by Halsey uh, is one that I've listened to a lot over the years, and it's not new, but it's something that I keep going back to.
Yep,
And
I like that one too.
historically, this is a band that almost no one is going to have heard of. Probably no people. It is a band actually from my hometown called Anthenaeum, and they are on Spotify. But their first album, and this album is from 20 years ago, is called Radiance. It is a very like mood alternative album, and I guess I would describe them as like I don't know, like a Incubus or um, maybe Goo Goo Dolls from that era, which is I don't care for Goo Goo Dolls, but as far as I'm trying to compare them, and it's very like kind of like almost all of the songs are about some sort of relationship, romantic or otherwise. So the album is really good, and it reminds me a lot of my childhood because it's a band I saw live like one time when I was like I don't know, like 12, 13. So those are kind of just the ones that I have that came to the top of my mind when we discussed this part of the segment. So
Okay.
on
All right. So next up, songs listen to when you are like happy,
okay,
or make you feel or make you feel happy.
yeah, that either when you're feeling good or it kind of help you get there.
Yes. I'm gonna go with I put here. This is one also one you introduced me to. It's Not Right, But It's Okay by Churches. The
Yes,
V.
and it's not right, but it's okay. It's not an original song. That is a Whitney Houston cover, but it is a phenomenal song.
Yep. And then another one is uh, this is weird because this song kind of has no spaces. It's called "She Don't Know What She Knows" by Tovlo, and it's upbeat but also dark in a way too. 'Cause, like the lyrics itself are kind of dark, but it's almost like if you listen to Fossil People, like pumped up kicks. It's kind of like that.
Okay,
It's weird how anyways, but I enjoy listening to that kind of music, and it makes me like brings my mood up.
okay. Um, I have, for me, it's like a couple of artists slash albums that I know that I kind of go back to I want to be in a better mood. Um, one of them is one of the albums is one of my favorite albums of all time, which is Ceremonials by Florence and the Machine. And this is like to me, this album is basically perfect, and it's like so masterful. It's like basically someone that has like perfected their craft and knock it out of the park with every song. And I can just listen to that on repeat for like a whole day, and it just keeps me in a good mood. Another one is it's I guess technically I'm gonna call it an album anyway, but it is a and my girlfriend Meredith hates this person, so she's gonna lose her mind, but she knows how I feel, so she can. I don't care. Uh, it is an album by Drake called "If You're Reading This and It's Too Late." Um, it's in my opinion, it's I guess he technically calls it a mixtape, but the songs are all really high quality, and it's a lot of hey, look, I'm great at what I do. If if you don't think I am, just listen or just wait. So it's a lot of that. So it's a lot. It's good. It's good. Like it's pump you up, but not in like an aggressive way. It's just like a hey, you know, just by the way, I'm great. I just want you to know that I'm great, and I feel great when I listen to it. Is I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of funny to say. It's a great album. It's a great album if you like rap. Um, and then the two main artists that I go to for sure the most when I just want to be in a great mood is Lady Gaga, who's one of my favorites, and then Adele um, is another one. And I'm sure I will hit them at some point later in this segment. So
Okay. All right. Next up's going to be we need to focus slash maybe get a little pumped up.
yeah,
Maybe. So the biggest one I think that is "Long Live the Chief."
yeah. This is another one you got from me because Jadina is on my list as well, and this is
Yeah.
my favorite pump you up song probably of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then another one is "Do Re Mi" by Black Bear. This is like it makes me focus on channeling some sort of mood. uh, it's also the beat and it's kind of it's almost like catchy. I just really like the song. It's not that old of a song, but maybe like a year old, but it's a good song. Helps you focus on like these are my two biggest songs I listen to when I'm working out
Okay.
at this moment.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Long Live the Chief is one of mine too from Jadina. He has another great song that I kind of put in this category called Chief Don't Run. So that's another really good one, Ollie, for you if you haven't listened to that one.
that was that one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great one too. Um, and then outside of that, my my favorite album for this, like the focus pump you up, is Watch the Throne, which is a Jay-Z Kanye West collaboration album, and it is one of the best rap albums in my opinion. Um, it's just really good top to bottom, and that's you actually like a lot of songs off that album. You probably just didn't know.
Okay. Okay.
Like that's where the term going like ham is coming from.
Oh, sure.
It's from that album. They have a call. There's a song called Ham, and that's where that's from. And then Prince, just in general, is another person that I listen to because he's just so high energy, and he's just fantastic. He's basically always going to keep you, always going to. I don't want to say entertained, but always going to keep you. I guess your energy pumping. So
Okay.
love Prince. All right, what's next?
All right. Next one is songs listen to get comfortable or when you're comfortable, relaxed. My biggest band for this is by far just Black Mill. My favorite song by them is just called "Let It Be," and then also listen to discovered a new song called "Oh Devil" by Electric Guest. It's like it's a chill song that's just has that little like beat that I like. It's hard to explain, but it's like that high pitched but low sounding beat sound. Just listen to it and you know what I'm saying. It's
Okay.
called "Oh Devil."
I'm sure that I
by
will.
Electric
You have
Guest.
a very there's like oh man when we were riding back from our last trip together, you have a specific like beat in songs, and if that beat is in the song, you automatically love it. And I like pointed
Yeah.
out like two songs. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
here's the Ollie beat, and you're like, oh
Yep.
yeah,
There
I
it
guess it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Um, my so the newest song that I definitely put in this comfort category because it just like it moves me and like it's just such a great song is the song Shallow, which is actually on the A Star Is Born soundtrack, and it's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga doing a duet. And it's really, really good. That
Okay.
whole album is actually pretty good. It's just the soundtrack, but it's a musical. So the whole album is really good, but that's like by far and away the best song. And it's so good. It's so great. Um, Other than that, I have artists that fall into this category. One is my favorite band, Sleigh Bells. Um, it's listening to their music is therapeutic for me because it makes me. It's like I feel like I'm just in this cocoon where I'm like this invincible cocoon, basically.
Okay.
Um,
So you're Metapod. Are you Metapod or Kakuna?
um, Usually, I don't know either one. You take a pick. But
Or Bargon's evolved form, the little dragon cocoon.
was it Sheldon?
Anyways,
What a
something
lame,
like that. I don't
something
know.
like that. It's a lame
Yeah.
name. Anyway, um, but Sleigh Bells is a band that I talked about on this show before. Um, but I have such like a deep passion for their music that whenever I'm like, man, I just really need. It's not like when I'm sad. It's like if I'm having like a crappy day or like I'm just like frustrated. Like that is the immediate thing that I'll just put that on and just jam to that and be like, I just feel better when I'm listening to it.
Okay.
Another good one is Future Islands, which is they're I don't want to they're not emo, but they're very um, their songs are all very personal, and I love the sound of the voice of the lead singer. Now, to be honest, I am someone that strongly pushes towards female vocalists over male vocalists, and
Yeah, I am too.
it takes a lot for me to like a male vocalist. And Future Islands is a band that has a male vocalist that I think is really great, and the sound for comfort is really really important to me. So that's what I got. That's what I got for the comfort sound, as I like to call
All right. All right. Last, but not least, basically, songs doing direction or inspiration, or basically like lift you up. Mine is Congratulations by Post Malone.
it. Okay.
I just like that one because it's maybe if you feel like crap, and it's like, you know what, if you keep working, you doing your thing, people are eventually going to be saying congratulations. Okay. And it just makes you feel like, I understand, like, I'm not Post Malone or anything, but it's just a nice feeling to be like, yeah,
Post Malone's not even Post Malone, man.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Great. Great.
All right, and then another song is called "What You Know" by Two Door Cinema Club.
This
It's
that's
also,
a great song too.
yeah, it's basically saying a song that's like I know what you want, but it's up to me if I want to do it or not. Like, I know basically it's like, I know what to do, I know what I have to get there, and it's up to me if I want to do this thing or not do it. But I definitely have the power to do it, and it's just like a nice reminder of like, um, I'm my worst enemy, my own worst enemy, type deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There was definitely a time 6, 7, 8 years ago that I was like, I was really loved Two Door Cinema Club, and it's like I don't even like. I would never be like, no, I'm not really a fan of their music, but I liked a lot of their songs individually, so I guess I was. I just felt weird saying it. I don't know.
Sure.
They have a lot of
Yeah.
good songs.
They do.
I
They do.
don't like
They
that
do.
genre of music generally, but I like a lot of their songs.
Well, a lot of their songs have that beat that I like, so a little like weird. And I can't mimic it either. I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
mimic it, but yeah.
So for this, when we're talking about like inspiration, like inspirational music or music that kind of helps you find direction, I think of like specific albums, and there's some albums that I like consider like perfect albums, almost like top to
Okay.
bottom. Like every single like these albums are just great, and I can just listen to them and be like, oh man, like all of this is so good. I don't want to skip any songs. Um, and I have a handful. So, um, my one of my favorite, and this is the I think yeah, this is the newest one on this list, and it's not new. It's about 5 years old, but it's Lord's first album, Pure Heroin, and it that album came out when I was going through a very bad breakup with a longtime girlfriend, and this is like Lord's debut album, and she's just like spit fire just the whole time, and
Yeah.
she's just so great because she writes her own songs, and at this point she's like wrote this album when she's like 17, so it's a lot of like stuff that even though I wasn't 17, 27 at that time, but I felt like I could relate to as far as the energy and how everything felt, and she's also so good lyrically, and her voice is amazing, so that album is great top to bottom. Another one is Adele's album 21. I think that album is phenomenal top to bottom. She's probably like the greatest vocalist of our generation. Um, but that's neither here nor there. One I already touched on earlier is Ceremonials by Florence and the Machine. That's my favorite Florence and the Machine album. And that's one of my top 3 favorite bands is Florence and the Machine. And that album is fantastic. Another one is the Postal Service, and
Oh man.
and it's their I think it's just their
Like,
I think it's the album name the album name is Give Up. It's the only album that they came out with.
they gave up.
They did well. It wasn't well, not exactly.
I mean, I know.
Yeah,
I was joking.
without going into like detail of Postal Service. Um, it's people from other groups. You guys can look them up if you want, but the album's called Give Up, and it's like amazing. It's only 10 songs, but it's a really really great album. So
Yeah, basically the main artist was like also doing Death Cab for Cutie.
yeah, is the vocalist for
Yeah.
Death Cab for Cutie. Which again, I don't love that music. This album is really good though. Anyway, and then
It really is good.
and then the last album is probably the album that I've listened to more than I've listened to any other album in my entire life, and that is Morning View by Incubus. I don't listen to alternative very much now, but that album has provided more inspiration for me than like anything else, like throughout my life, especially like through my teenage years. So
Yeah, I would my teenage one definitely goes to Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. That was
Yeah.
definitely my teenage angst, emotional.
well, I'm not talking about
making
angst. I just mean like
not angst. Like yeah.
well,
you
you
know what I'm
might mean
saying,
angst. I don't mean angst. We can mean different things.
like, okay. No, I mean give me through my teenage years where I'm like thinking the world's gonna end because I'm in high school.
Yeah, so angst. You can say it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yours is angst 2 Parnell.
It's not.
Believe it or
It's not angst.
It definitely was angst.
Why you say mine's angst?
Because I'm calling you out.
But you're just saying that because you don't want to be the only one that feels angsty.
And it wasn't only angsty too. Like it was almost like depression in a way.
But that's not the case for me. Is what I was saying.
Right, but okay. Well, is depression considered angsty?
No, those two things aren't necessarily correlated.
Okay, well, I was depressed in high school, and a lot of music, like, for some reason, even though it was almost like, okay, it's like listening to depression music, like the more depressing it is, it's almost like the more cathartic it is after listening to it.
Because you can kind of feel yourself through the music when it's like you, rather than just someone on the external of you.
Yeah, and that whole album, like from top to bottom, it's like a masterpiece.
I mean,
Hybrid Theory, I think.
it's still certainly considered their best album, but
yeah,
that's the case with a lot of artists. Like one of their first albums for first or second best album is always like their best album for most artists. So
yeah, so that album definitely got me through a lot of depressing times in my teenage years. So,
right, awesome. It's good. Music's great. We hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do, and hope you guys like listening to us talk about it. Music is such a personal thing. It really is. It's nice when you can connect with other people on it. Like Ollie and I definitely have some overlap in the music that we like, and like we have given each other a lot of music over the years that maybe we didn't like before, and that we've kind of listened to through the other person. So it's great when you have someone else that you can do that with too.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we've influenced each other.
Oh, for sure, on
music.
Yeah, both ways. Yeah. Both ways, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I've also learned to not be judgmental. Like sometimes people, like if you're in a car and they put on their music or their CD or their song or whatever, they're basically opening up their like diary to you in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you laugh, like I've learned, like if you laugh at it or if you like make fun of it, that hurts that person, man. And like you basically force them to close up. So I've tried very hard to listen. Like when someone does do that, when someone does have a mixtape or someone's playing their playlist, I try to listen to it, and even if I don't like it, I try to be respectful because
they like it. Be appreciative of the fact that they like it, because you know what, you probably listen to some music they don't like, and a lot of other people don't.
Yeah,
and that's okay. And that's why music is great, because it can touch people in so many different ways. And that's why That's why we both love it. Talking about it is always a difficult thing for us, at least I feel like for me on the podcast, because I want to listen to music like when I'm talking about it, but we don't have that opportunity. Like oftentimes when you and I are talking about music, we're listening to it at the same time.
Yeah.
So music's great. Hope you guys think the same. Okay. All right, we've gone on too long, so that is the show for today. As usual, guys, we'll be back in just a moment with Question of the Week. Ollie, this is the third week of Magic Story where we've gotten to look at the kind of the inner workings of Ravnica, right? So we're not seeing like the big picture. We're not seeing Niv Mizzet or Ralzeric or Rauska or any of that stuff going on. We're seeing the low level, the street level,
the people,
and that's what I'm saying. The people, right?
Yeah.
So the question of the week, I feel like we have a good basis. And now I have a better understanding of kind of how the inner workings of Ravnica work. So, the question of the week. Wait, we got to do the question of the week.
Oh, question of the week.
Great, thank you. Question of the week is, which guild in Ravnica is the hardest to get a job in? So, I've thought about this. I've thought about this quite a bit. And it has to be the Azorius. Because you have to go through, one, the amount of paperwork you surely have to fill out. And you're not getting for the Azorius, I imagine you're not getting a job, you're getting like an unpaid internship, right?
Oh God. Okay.
So you have to fill out a lot of paperwork. You got to do this long internship. You got to go through several interviews just to get a base level job. Because think about all of the different people that you've seen in the Azorius, like on cards. Almost all of them are like old people.
They are old people.
Yeah, because it takes so long.
Grand Arbiter, Augustine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The fourth.
Yeah, and you got to live and none of them are like if they're humans, they're all elderly, and if they're not humans, they're probably really old. Because you just gotta those old people, they just got that job. They've been trying to get that job for like 70 years, man.
Oh, God.
Been filling out paperwork, going to interviews, unpaid intern one day. one day when I'm 72 years old. Though I don't really know how they would measure years on Ravnica. That's an interesting question for another day. But it's
Yeah.
got to be the Azorius. It has to be. They have to just be the hardest guild to get a job in. It just takes too long.
Okay. All right. Well, I see where you're coming from,
Okay, good.
but I'm gonna disagree
I was hoping it's gonna be
because
the rare agree week.
no, because there's a guild where I don't think they even know what jobs are. So how can you get a job if you don't know what a job is or know if no one's hiring? I'm talking about the Gruul, okay? The Gruul don't know what a job is. They just do what they want. Like Boros literally says, "Not Gruul, then die." That's his job. That's his job. Okay.
So, well,
So
maybe.
if you want to go,
Okay, I'll let you finish. Let you finish.
so for Azorius, you're over here like applying for jobs and you're 70. How do you even apply for a job that you even know what a job is or what is it? Can I eat a job? Can I smash people with a job? Is that like a little? Is that a weapon? No, man. It's gotta be impossible to get hired by the girl. Like, how did the girl even hire other people? Like a Demir assassin or anybody else? They don't. You know why? They don't because there's no jobs. So it's gonna be literally impossible to get jobs with the girl. Like literally impossible. Like there's no way. So my vote is Snap Girl because I don't think they understand what a job is. They just do what they want.
Okay, that's a good
Or
argument.
they,
I'll give it to
steal
you.
their food.
I'll give it to you. It might be a technicality, but it is a good argument
All right.
because you can't get a job if a job doesn't exist.
Well, it's not even that. It's like,
What is job?
yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes.
Do you think that
What
like
is gonna?
I'm really interested in the
I don't-
girl story now.
Me too, because it's like cave etchings, man. Like, do you remember when we played the pre-release? There's like a message from each guild.
Yes,
Literally, the Gruul was an etching. It's like,
it
a
was.
cave etching.
Yeah, it
It's
wasn't
like-
even words. It was not even words.
So-
It was
Yeah,
it
so,
was
like, it's-
etchings and it just had gruel. I think that was it.
yeah, so it's very yeah. Can I? The question is can I eat a job? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Which guild in Ravnica is the hard to get a job in? Azorius or Gruul are going to be your two options. So
Yep.
we'll let you guys vote on that. Ollie, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/AliOdrazi, twitch.tv/AliOdrazi. I'm streaming now for sure every Monday and Thursday. I've been trying to do that.
All right.
Also I'll try again on Tuesdays, but anyways, Monday and Thursdays. And you can also find my articles at www.coolstuffinc.com. My articles come out every Friday, so there'll be one out. Why? Let's do this.
Good
And
stuff.
this week's article is on 5-color Mirari and a Grixis Concoct Dragons deck that you probably want to check out too.
I do want to check it out actually.
What about you, Parnell?
You can find me on Twitter at jparnell1 on Twitter. You can also find me on StarCityGames.com, YouTube, 11 a.m. every Wednesday. Post the Commander Verse series. Last week's episode was the episode that came out this past week was one of my favorite ones that we've done in a really long time. So you should definitely check that out if you have not yet. And of course, you can contact the show on Twitter at ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter and ThinktwiceMTG@gmail.com. If you want to find the show on other platforms, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and now Spotify, as we were talking about. So after you finish listening to all the songs we suggested, hop on over to Spotify and follow us there. So, or hop on over to the podcast section of Spotify and follow us there. If you want to get more content other than just listening through your earballs, you can go to youtube.com/ThinktwiceMTG. Ollie and I both have multiple videos going up every week. Ollie is doing kind of his brews when he's streaming, and those will get posted to YouTube. And then of course I'm doing my free-to-play series, which is also getting posted to YouTube a couple times a week. So definitely check those out. You can also go to patreon.com/thinktwiceMTG to support the show. We have a lot of great reward tiers, including our $1 Augur Bolus tier gets you early access to the show, gets you Thinktwice tokens, and gets you into our Discord channel for patrons only. Speaking of new patrons, we want to thank our new Disciple of Bolas patrons, Larry J and Jasper, this week. Thank you, folks, so much for joining the Thinktwice family. Hope you're enjoying it. And
Welcome.
And we want to give a shout out to our Discord Animal of the Week this week, Aria the Tabby Cat. Looking very adorable.
Arya Stark, like light color.
That's Aria. This is Aria.
Same thing.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean,
Arya
if,
Stark.
if Aria doesn't
tabby.
correct you, then that's all good.
She's Arya of many faces. She has many faces.
I think looks like she has one, but you know what? Could be hide another one with that tough fur. Who knows?
Exactly.
Definitely could be. Okay, we want to give a shout out to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com, and our director and producer, John Shea. We also want to thank our Agent of Bolas producers, Daniel Hunt and Matt Lindell, and of course we have an open spot on our $30 Agent of Bolas tier if you would like to help me exclusively with deck sport commander versions. That is where you go to do that. So thank you guys very much. As all I like to say,
You're the true MVP.
the true MVP, not the fake
truest.
one, not the fake MVP. Thank goodness, the true MVP.
Yeah. The true.
Yeah.
The realist.
All right, Holly, that's it. That's the show for this week. How do you think you
All right,
did?
buddy. I think it's fantastic. This is extra long one. This is like Maggie long. It's like Maggie's. My dog Maggie is really long,
Oh my god, he says
and this is like a wiener dog long podcast.
Says it every
So
week.
it's good. So
every week.
she gets longer and longer.
Okay.
Dude, she's adorable now.
All right. Thank you guys very much. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye, guys.